Good morning. Welcome to Daybreak Plus.
Monday morning. Let's do it.
George is clapping.
You're clapping for a Monday?
Yeah, well,
We're making it through
false
this Monday.
energy.
Oh man, it's a Monday.
It is. It's crazy out there.
Most schools were already closed for Martin Luther King Day. Those that were planning to have class are closed due to the snow and the cold.
Including Hope College, as I recall from our morning show.
That
Yeah.
is correct.
You get colleges closing, it's
Yeah,
something's going on out there.
Yeah, it's not pleasant. It's not pleasant at all.
There was a lot of snow on the road as I was driving in, and I'm 10 minutes from the station.
Well, we're just going to give you this little tour of West Michigan right now.
All right.
So that is our Kalamazoo studio.
Pretty looking street there.
It is pretty. It doesn't look as snowy and blowy as some other spots, although maybe it's just because the camera's under the overhang there. But the road's definitely covered in snow. That's Bronson Park across the street. This is in Grand Rapids, what we can see of the interchange there. That all morning long, you haven't been able to see the pavement.
No, it's just snow-covered roads.
It's just been really messy. That's the highway in Grand Rapids as well. And it's hard to even see where it is because it's so snowy. Same from this view in downtown. It's just still really coming down.
You were on 131 this morning?
I was on 131.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was tricky. Tricky.
Tricky.
It was very tricky. We're going to check in with David Horak in a couple of minutes. He is going to step outside of the station here in Heritage Hill to show us what things look like out there. But, Matt, I wanted to talk to you first. We wanted to talk to you first, right?
Yes, we do.
Are you sure?
Off the top. We need you, baby. We need you.
Man.
I'm not really sure based on what I know is in your forecast.
Yeah, that's what I mean. When you see a camera view of the freeway looking like that, you know it's coming down at a good clip. And you also, it's like two-faceted. You also know it's really cold where they can't put down salt either. So here's the setup that we have. Anytime you have the purples and the magentas, that equates to cold, frigid there if you look up at the legend upper left. And notice how it just resides around here over the next week. Another system comes in on Wednesday, and look at that. Oh my goodness, even colder air expected for this upcoming weekend. Actually, the coldest I've seen so far, I just checked out one of the latest forecast models, the European. It has a low of 19 Saturday, below zero, and a high of 3 above.
For us?
Yes. That's insane.
Ouch.
Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but just the
It's
fact...
just a possibility.
Just the fact that even if we're remotely close to that, that's some serious cold.
-10, -19.
Yeah,
Does
right.
it feel different? I
don't know. Enough to make me feel I don't want to go outside, which you might be feeling that way right now.
I feel that way right now.
Yeah. So this 12 above doesn't seem that bad. But looking on the other side of the lake, it's kind of a give or take here. Because we're on this side of the lake, we have to deal with the lake effect, but we also have temperatures a little bit warmer than the other side. Now, you contrast Milwaukee at 1 below, and we're 12 above in Grand Rapids. I'm sure they'd rather be at 12 above. And then you can look at the difference in wind chills. That's huge. 6 below in Grand Rapids. Obviously, that's not warm, but 25 below in Milwaukee, just on the other side of the lake. 30 below in Dubuque. Yikes. So our temperatures or feel like readings today will stay below zero all day long. And you can see all that snow out there all around the Great Lakes, indicating that Arctic air mass solidly in place. Show you the camera view yet again, Muskegon. Always like looking at that one because whenever there's some gusty winds out there, it likes to dance. And there's the latest visibility out there. That actually went down. Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo. I kind of like looking at this because it really tells you where the worst of the conditions are, and that's 131 Western. And you're talking about how the National Weather Service was saying, if you don't have to drive, don't drive 131 westward.
Yes.
Yeah. So this is why. Yeah. 3 to 6 inches of snow, I would say additional. At my house this weekend, I had about 7 to 8 inches. I had a shovel or snow blow. And we'll add on another 3 to 6 to that. The higher amounts will be closer to the lakeshore. I'll show you in the future cast how things are going to kind of shrink towards the lakeshore today. The heaviest snow will be during the morning hours. And some of those wind gusts with that light, fluffy snow, it's very easy to blow around. And they'll be with us all day long in the 30-mile-an-hour range. Arctic cold front peeling off to the east, opening up the door. Again, that Arctic air. And that means snow and cold. Now, here's the future cast. Notice how the snow showers don't come to an end. They just kind of shrink a little bit and more confined towards the lakeshore area more often than not. And then tomorrow morning, a few lingering snow showers. And then I want to point out another system heading our way, moving into the north central plains by later tomorrow, and that's going to move in for Wednesday for us, right over us. So that's going to bring in more accumulating snow. I don't think we're going to see much in a way of accumulating snow for Grand Rapids on Tuesday, but Wednesday that will change, and you can see Marquette, 145. And by the way, Marquette and Sault Ste. Marie are 50 inches above average for the snow. We have now broken the 60-inch mark in Muskegon, a 40-inch mark in Grand Rapids. And here's that 8-day forecast. You can see pretty conservative there with those temperatures this weekend. I do expect below zero temperatures this weekend. Could even be colder than this. And look at the cold. It hangs on right on through the end of January and to Groundhog's Day. I'm sure David Horak wants me to shut up so he can.
Well,
I
do keep looking just to see because he stepped outside
yeah,
for us.
I don't want him to be out there too long.
So yeah, let's get out to him. I'll get that all set up because he went out there to show us what things are looking like. Hang on just a second. Okay. Yeah, let's get over to David. Matt, thank you. Mm-hmm. We do appreciate your information, even if we don't like it.
Don't hate the messenger.
Yeah,
No.
don't shoot the messenger.
We will not. But yeah, David is outside for us right now. Our studio is in Heritage Hill near downtown where it is very snowy, and we can see that, David.
Yeah, and I appreciate Matt for being a little more cognizant of having to be out here during this cold spell. Where was this weather during the holidays too? On top of that, if we go back to a week of Christmas and we were dying, craving a white Christmas, well, better later than never, I suppose. It's where, if I were to articulate in a sentence the conditions, the air hurts my face. That's basically it. And this morning, leading up to this morning, I talked to the Kent County Road Commission about how they're trying to combat these sub-zero temperatures, these conditions compared to conditions that are not that, regarding how they treat the roads. And actually, when it comes to changing their strategy, they shoot more for traction. Because yes, you're gonna have that fluffy snow that easily can like blow off and make conditions very treacherous, very difficult for you to see what's in front of you, in front of your windshield, but also this, even between cameraman Diego as well as myself, you can't see much in front of us. But on top of that is the ice, because at 20 degrees and below, salt kind of loses its efficacy. So then, Kent County Road Commission, MDOT, City of Grand Rapids, other snow plows and agencies and organizations that treat the roads, they then kind of shift and change their solutions of treating roads to more abrasive material. And in the Kent County Road Commission's case, sand helps drivers try to at least acclimate themselves a little bit more to these relatively cold conditions, because again, salt doesn't work that well at these freezing cold temperatures here. So given that, that's why it's more brown than white, green, or blue out on the roads whenever you go towards some of the more popular thoroughfares on your commute if you have to work this morning. And so with that in mind, it further reinforces, as the wind is slapping me in the face again, that you have to keep your distance about 200 feet plus. That's actually state law. It's not just a preference, a comfort level. So all the while this morning on Daybreak, we've also not only touched on how the road crews are adjusting to this Arctic blast, but also frostbite. I'm already feeling it on my face right now. it's because exposed skin can really are most vulnerable to frostbite. Numbness, tingling, changing skin color are the three biggest warning signs, in which get inside and warm up as frequently as you can if you don't have to be outside. Otherwise, try to cover it up as best as you can. So with that, frequent breaks, go inside. We're going to do that. Teresa and George, I will send it back to you.
Yes, absolutely. You can see that that's a good idea. David, thank you so much for stepping out for us to show us that this morning. Man.
It was coming down all morning long when he was out there near the highway. You could just see the
Yeah.
wind and the snow and the conditions out there. Not the most fun live shot to be outside.
No, but it's helpful
But it
to
does
show people
demonstrate exactly what's
so that
happening
you can
out
stay
there.
inside.
You stay in, let him
Let
do
us
the
show
dirty
you
work.
why. Okay, we have some really important information to share coming up.
Yes, don't go away. Martin Luther King Day coming up.
Go.
Welcome back to Daybreak Plus on a stormy Monday morning.
It is a stormy Monday. That's why we left the snow up in the monitors, just to make sure we really hammer home that it is snowy out there on this Martin Luther King Jr. Day. Which,
A lot of people have the day off.
yes, in theory, to go to events, but the snow hopefully won't cancel a lot of those events, might move things indoors.
Yes.
We'll see. Before we get to the events, we do just want to touch on Martin Luther King Jr.'s final speech. He said a lot of different things, but one of the sections of the speech that we wanted to share is this one, where he said he doesn't know what will happen now. We have difficult days ahead, but it doesn't matter because I've been to the mountaintop. Like anybody, I would like to live a long life, but I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will, and he's allowed me to go up to the mountain, and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land.
And this was the night before his assassination.
Yeah, April
In
3rd,
Memphis.
1968, he was giving a speech in support of sanitation workers in Memphis.
And he was at the Lorena Motel in Memphis, Tennessee, assassinated on April 4th on the next day.
Those words will come up again in just a moment. If you're interested in attending a Martin Luther King Jr. Day event, we have a full list on our website. There are a lot of them going on all over, so you should be able to find one near you.
Yes, we've got a list of them on the website from Battle Creek to Grand Rapids all over.
There are a number of myths about Dr. King. We're going to go over 5 of them that we found. The first one is that he believed in a colorblind society, which is not true.
In his lifetime, he saw the Civil Rights Act of 64 and the Voting Rights Act of 65 pass, but he still did not think that that would eliminate racism.
No. He also, in his speech to the sanitation workers, his final speech, right, that was on the economic disparities. And he, in that, he said, when there is vast unemployment and underemployment in the black community, they call it a social problem. When there's vast unemployment and underemployment in the white community, they call it a depression. So he linked racism to economics in ways that are pretty relevant to this day. So that's one of the myths. Myth number 2 is that he was only focused on racism in the South, which is very far from the truth.
A lot of issues in the North. Some of the northern cities are some of the most segregated cities in terms of housing compared to anywhere in the country.
But he also talked about, the fight for African American equality within the larger struggle for international decolonization. He was very much against the Vietnam War. He wrote in his letter from a Birmingham jail about 17 African countries that won independence in 1960. And that, we have waited for more than 340 years for our constitutional and God-given rights. The nations of Asia and Africa are moving with jet-like speed toward gaining political independence, but we still creep at horse and buggy pace.
He made a speech at Riverside Church in 1967 talking about the war. Riverside Church is actually the church I grew up going to.
Really?
It's in the neighborhood where my parents have an apartment, and I went to Sunday school at Riverside Church for many, many years, and then I went to services there for a few years as well before my parents switched churches. But that's the church I grew up
So
in.
you've probably heard a lot about his
Yes.
stops there.
Yes.
Okay, myth number 3 is that he was a natural antagonist to Malcolm X, which is also not true. In fact, Malcolm X,
Also very anti-war.
yes, he obviously was the difference.
The
of course,
Vietnam War, I should say.
anti-Vietnam War, but the violence versus nonviolence. But even in 1964, Malcolm X broke with the Nation of Islam and offered support to King's campaign in Selma in 1965. They had a lot in common.
Yes, and they both fighting for civil rights in different approaches, but they weren't adversaries.
They were not adversaries. Myth number 4, King is irrelevant to Black Lives Matter protesters. So a lot of young people have said they see him as irrelevant to their struggles against police violence. There was one in Ferguson, Missouri, who expressed this by saying, "Ain't your grandparents' civil rights movement?"
Right.
But others see a lot of similarities and a lot of relevance to the same fight and the same tactics that police have used.
There was a incident back in the 60s involving Jimmy Lee Jackson, who was shot by a white police officer. And so these are issues that have gone on in the Black community, have been at the forefront of protests and those kinds of things for many, many years.
And one analyst compared it to what protesters in Ferguson present day experienced facing down tanks, tear gas, and other military-grade equipment as very similar to what activists in the 50s and 60s dealt with, showing like the fight to end the criminalization of Black protest. So they see a lot of similarities there. The final myth that we're going to go over is that there would be no civil rights movement without Dr. King.
He's obviously the most famous person, but there were so many others, some who had big names and some who were just people behind the scenes organizing. So there were lots of people, and there were a lot of women who were organizing. A lot of Black women who organized.
It was, I think Charles Payne said, men led, but women organized.
That's right.
But yeah, there's a long list of people who had huge roles in the civil rights movement.
Ella Baker, Fannie Lou Hamer, just many, many names.
Okay, those are our Martin Luther King myths. We also have a long list of birthdays.
Birthdays coming up.
Some pretty big ones.
Yeah, some good ones coming up.
Okay,
Let's do it when we come back.
we'll be right back with more Daybreak Plus.
We're working 9 to 5.
9 to 5. That's a preview of what we have in celebrity birthdays. This is huge.
This is a big one.
It's a big celebrity and a big birthday for this celebrity. Dolly Parton, 80 years old
80
today.
years old, and she's still working, still getting after it.
Still working 9 to 5. Man, happy birthday, Dolly.
I read 26 #1 Billboard hits. That sounds about right, right?
Yeah, sure.
She's got a lot of them. Whatever the
I Will
number is.
Always Love You is the one that she famously wrote and said, I don't care who records it because the royalty checks keep coming in. So she doesn't mind that somebody else might have sold more copies of it because she still gets paid. Also today, Shawn Johnson, 34 years old.
Gymnast, a gold medalist from 2008, and the balance beam, also silver for team all around and floor. How
Another
about that?
Shawn, 55
Sean
years old.
Wayans
today.
from the Wayans brothers, 55, great comedian.
Has he ever been to Grand Rapids?
I don't know.
We'll have to check that out.
Yeah, that's true. Got to find out. There's a tie.
And then finally, Katie Seagal, 72 years old.
Married with children. That's a big one.
She's done, well, Sons of Anarchy
Sons
was,
of
was
Anarchy,
another
yeah.
big one. And what a different character.
Yes.
Or
Yes.
maybe it's just the nitty gritty real version of that. I don't know. But that's pretty cool. Okay, on this day in Michigan history, we have a few.
Oh, yeah.
1841, the first issue of Michigan Farmer Magazine.
It was to provide focus on the application of manure, among other
And
things.
they still have a publication today. And
Yes.
obviously, farming industry is a really big part of West Michigan and our economy, so that was significant. In 1989, corporal punishment was banned in schools, and this has nothing to do with the arrest in Battle Creek.
That is
Of a heavyweight
Jack
champion.
Johnson. Corporal punishment is that's hard to imagine. 1989.
It
is
took that
still
long to
allowed,
ban
yeah.
it, yeah. They did not use heavyweight champions for corporal punishment. Please,
you got around
ignore
with
that.
Jack Johnson.
Yeah,
That's your
what you
punishment.
got. I'm all kinds of messed up. In 1994, MSU canceled classes due to the cold, which we talked about a little
Wind
bit.
chill of 51 below.
Yeah.
How about that?
How about that? George and I both were out of town this past
Yeah.
weekend. You went to New York?
I went to New York City, saw Mom, had a very good weekend, saw some old friends. Both of these women in this picture are TV producers in New York
Oh,
City.
nice.
We used to work in Houston at the same time at different stations. And then I had to go to Patsy's Pizza, my favorite spot in New York. Brick oven pizza, cash only,
Okay.
$18 for
Not a lot of
this
places
pie.
in New York cash only
Cash
these days.
only, Teresa. Don't go there with debit and credit cards. It's not happening.
No Apple Pay.
Excellent pizza.
Man, that looks good.
And Sinatra, one of my favorites, by the way. I love Frank Sinatra, and there's a big picture of him on the wall there. This place has been open since the 1930s.
I'm adding it to my list.
Gotta go to Patsy's.
Next time I'm back in
First
New York.
Avenue and 117th. And this is the view from my mom's apartment in New York City, and it was snowing there all weekend.
Was it her birthday?
It wasn't her birthday. It was this woman's birthday.
Oh, okay. I thought your mom had a birthday recently.
No, it was one of my good friends. It was her birthday party.
Okay.
And we went to Jimmy Choo's. Beautiful views of the city.
Nice. Yeah, those are nice views.
Yeah. Gosh, what a nice place.
You made it back in one.
You know, it's good to know good people in high places.
So I was in Ohio.
Big hockey tournament.
Big hockey tournament. Grady, Pee Wee Black, Grand Valley Stars had a hockey tournament in the Cincinnati area, and they won. It was incredible.
Very nice.
The last
I like the
game,
celebration.
It is fun to see all of that. They had a lot of fun, and this is not this day in Michigan.
Now, when was the final game? Which
Yesterday.
Day? It was
Yesterday morning.
Okay.
7:00 in the morning, and this was 3-3 tie. They went to overtime. It was 5 minutes of 3-on-3, and within about, I think it was the first minute, they scored and ended the game.
She scores.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah, way to go, Stars.
Very nice. Congratulations to them.
And Sharon was there with us too.
Sharon is there.
She was the
Gotta mention
cheerleader for the
Sharon.
team. Well, she did travel 5 hours.
She did go a long
in
way.
the car.
How was your drive back?
It was fine.
No issues?
No issues.
Okay.
We left by 9:30 in the morning.
Okay,
so
early.
We missed any of the bad weather. But
Yeah, I flew in and it was snowing a bit when I got in about
But you made
12
it.
o'clock. Made it. No snowing on the Newark end and snowing on this end, but made it just fine.
we've got a lot more snow to talk about this week.
Oh boy.
So we'll
We're
be
just warming up.
just cooling down. I wish we were warming up.
Yeah.
We'll be back tomorrow, talk about some more snow and Arctic air.
Yes, we'll see you then. Have a great day.